Welcome to Prince Expository YouTube channel. In this video, we will learn about Grashoff's law, Kuchbach's criterion for planar mechanisms, and Grubler's criterion for plane mechanisms. Grashoff's law. This law states that a 4-bar mechanism has at least one revolving link if the sum of the lengths of the largest and the shortest links is less than the sum of lengths of the other two links. Here, let us consider there are 4 links. Let the lengths of shortest link be capital S and the length of the longest link be capital L. And we have remaining 2 links. Let the remaining 2 link lengths be capital P and capital Q. Then one of the links, in particularly the shortest link, will rotate continuously relative to other 3 links if and only if S plus less than or equal to P plus Q. This is the condition of Grashoff's law. If this inequality is not satisfied, the chain is called non-Grashoff's chain, in which none of the links can have complete revolution relative to other links. It means if this inequality is not satisfied, then the 4 links which are connected to each other will not have any relative motion, thereby mechanism is not possible. Degrees of freedom. In the design or analysis of a mechanism, one of the most important concerns is the number of degrees of freedom. It is also called as or defined as movability of the mechanism. How can we define degrees of freedom? The definition goes like this. It is defined as the number of input parameters which must be independently controlled in order to bring the mechanism into a useful engineering purpose. It is possible to determine the number of degrees of freedom of a mechanism directly from the number of links and the number of type of joints which it includes. Let us see Kuchbach's criterion for planar mechanisms. Kuchbach's criterion for determining the number of degrees of freedom or movability of a plane mechanism is n is equal to 3 into L minus 1 minus 2j minus h, where n is number of degrees of freedom, L is number of links, j is number of joints, and h is number of higher pairs. Now let us see some few mechanisms. Very particularly in this slide you can see 3-bar mechanism, 4-bar mechanism. The number of degrees of freedom or movability for some simple mechanisms have no higher pair h is equal to 0. Let us see 3-bar mechanism. This mechanism has 3 links and 3 binary joints. That means L is equal to 3 and J is equal to 3. Therefore, substitute L is equal to 3 and J is equal to 3 and H is equal to 0 in Kuchbach's criterion equation. So for 3-bar mechanism, we will be getting N is equal to 0. Now 4-bar mechanism contains 4 links and 4 binary joints. Therefore, L is equal to 4 and J is equal to 4. H is equal to 0. After substitution, we will be getting N is equal to 1. Now 5-bar mechanism contains 5 links and 5 binary joints. Therefore, L is equal to 5 and J is equal to 5. Then we will be getting degrees of freedom as 2. Another 5-bar mechanism in figure D has 5 links and 6 equivalent binary joints. Because there are 2 binary joints at B and D and 2 ternary joints at A and C. So then number of links are 5 and joints 6. After substituting in Kuchbach's criterion equation, we will get N is equal to 0. Now last one is 6 bar mechanism. It contains 6 links and 8 equivalent binary joints because there are 4 ternary joints at A, B, C and D. That is, number of links 6, number of joints 8, and after substituting we'll be getting n is equal to 1. Now if you see, after calculating all these starting from 3 bar mechanism and up to the 6 bar mechanisms, we see that the degrees of freedom n is equal to 0, 1, 2, minus 1, and these values of degrees of freedom, particularly n values, signifies something. Let us see all about this. It may be noted that when n is equal to 0, then the mechanism forms a structure and no relative motion between the links is possible. So this is shown in figure A and figure D. When n is equal to 1, then the mechanism can be driven by a single input motion as shown in figure D. When n is equal to 2, then 2 separate input motions are necessary to produce constrained motion for the mechanism as shown in figure C. When n is equal to 1 minus 1 or less, then there are redundant constraints in the chain and it forms a statically indeterminate structure. Now let us see the application of Kutzbach's criterion, which is applied to mechanisms with a higher pair or 2 degrees of freedom joints. In this slide you can see figures A and figure B. In figure A, there are 3 links, 2 binary joints and 1 higher pair. That means L is equal to 3 and J is equal to 3, 2 and H is equal to 1. After substituting we'll be getting N is equal to 1. In figure B, there are 4 links, 3 binary joints and 1 higher pair. That is L is equal to 4, J is equal to 3 and H is equal to 1. And now N value is 2. Here it has been assumed that the slipping is possible between the links, that is, between the wheel and the fixed link. However, if the friction at the contact is high enough to prevent slipping, the joint will be counted as 1 degree of freedom pair because only one relative motion will be possible between the links. Now, let us see Grubler's criterion for planar mechanisms. The Grubler's criterion applies to mechanisms with only single degree of freedom joints whose the overall movability of the mechanism is unity. In this Grubler's criterion, we will be considering n is equal to 1 and h is equal to 0, and these conditions should be substituted in Kutzbach's equation. Thereby, we will be getting another equation, 3L minus 2J minus 4 is equal to 0, where L is number of links and J is number of joints. This equation is known as the Grubler's criterion for plane mechanisms with constrained motion. A little consideration will show that a plane mechanism with a movability of one and only single degree of freedom joints cannot have odd number of links. The simplest possible mechanisms of this type are a 4-bar mechanism and a single slider crank mechanism, in which number of links are 4 and number of joints are 4.